Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Deputy Prime Ministers, Honorable Cabinet colleagues, Honorable Leader of Opposition and members whose scrutiny strengthen democracy, Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, and every Fijian joining us through live stream across the country and abroad. And a very good afternoon to you all. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'd like to join my colleagues to honor and congratulate the newly installed Turang Balena Tuinayau, Rana Tuilau, Nasauni Unolau, for his successful accession into last week into the honored chiefly title that had been vacant for 21 years. I wish the Ngone Turanga Rotu Rogoli Mara well, good health, blessed years of leadership ahead of him. And I wish the Vanua Turanga Lau unity and grace during his tenure of his leadership. I also like to extend my warmest congratulations to Captain Tevita Iknibere and our gallant Flying Fijians team for their brave and well-executed game against the mighty Scotland last Saturday, and also against the Wallabies the previous week. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is with deep sadness as well that I stand here today, join my colleagues in paying tribute to the memory of the late Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Realu, who is no longer with us, for a person that was larger than life and whose embodiment was of strong and fearless, dedicated servant of the people. He will be sadly and sorely missed, and his work achieved to date will be appreciated and continued, hopefully, with the same vigor and honor by those who will fill his shoes. I thank his family, his beloved wife, Ms. Aseri Radrodro, the children and family members for sharing a husband, a dad, and loved one with Fiji. I also take this time to congratulate Mr. Honorable Nosi Kurindani for rejoining Parliament. Mr. Speaker, sir, in full support of this budget, this budget response takes place in unique circumstances. Unique that we are operating with a coalition government, which is important and historically significant because it reflects the will of the people. The budget not only represents the will of the people, it is futuristic as well, preparing our education, our stakeholders and students into the future. It continues to demonstrate a strong, united commitment to education with a record budget allocation of $847.4 million, a substantial increase from last year's $784.1 million. Of this allocation, the Ministry of Education receives $675.4 million, which includes higher education institutions of $86.5 million. In addition, $153 million is provided for TSLS scholarship. Mr. Speaker, sir, our education system, while resilient, confronts significant pressures impacting national development and every Fijian well-being. This budget tackles these issues head-on, delivering targeted strategic investments for maximum impact and, crucially, to address poverty, address hunger, address good health and well-being, address gender equality, address clean water and sanitation, decent work, and economic growth, to name a few, through quality education and lifelong learning skills. Mr. Speaker, sir, this budget listens and responds by accommodating what it can on the needs of all school stakeholders, including teachers, students, heads of school, and school management committees, In recognition of this, we thank the budget allocation given to the School Management Association of $500,000. The principal and heads of Teachers Association, $300,000 each for the first time. The Ministry of Education will ensure that proper checks and balances are in place to address accountability and transparency in the way the funds are going to be used. Mr. Speaker, sir, the power of education to change a life cannot be understated, and we need to ensure that access to quality education, basic education, should not be a privilege afforded only to some. Many children still find quality education out of reach, diminishing their life chances to opportunities. We as a government simply cannot shrink from our responsibilities to them. Mr. Speaker, sir, this budget underscores the coalition government's unwavering commitment to quality and inclusive education. We must be bolder, more ambitious, and continue to set high evidence-based targets. To that end, I have begun critically assessing our ministry's targets and milestones. In a significant step forward, yesterday, Mr. Speaker, sir, marked a significant historic milestone for Fiji's education system, when the Fiji Education Review Team and the Fiji Law Reform Commission officially handed over the reports on the review of the Education Act to the Honorable Acting Attorney General and myself. This revised act incorporates modernized forms of learning and introduces new ways to support both students, teachers, and other education stakeholders in this modern era. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have reviewed the examination results over the past years, and we see the necessity to review the current practice of automatic progression for students. We are looking to submit to Cabinet a paper on the no-repeat policy for automatic progression for decision. At the same time, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are finalizing the groundwork and consultation on the reintroduction of a scaling into our national examination. And this will ensure that our education system is responsive to the diverse challenges of our school and students around Fiji. Additionally, we are looking at options of centralized marking for all examination papers, with markers gathering at a central venue in Suva. This is done with the intention to produce timely national examination results as compared to the current practice, in addition to security of papers, consistency of marking, and to maintain the independence of the markers. Mr. Speaker, sir, the heartbeat of the education system is the curriculum. The Ministry of Education, with a team of experts, will initiate a review of the National Curriculum Framework with a budget of $33,000. This will be done in consultation with the education commissioners and education stakeholders to address the raised concerns on the relevance of the current curriculum. The current framework was last reviewed in 2013, and it is now proper that it undertakes another review after a lapse of more than a decade. Mr. Speaker, sir, in addition to the above, I will now focus on the crucial strategic areas of the Ministry of Education in this response. In the early childhood education, the Ministry of Education appreciates the allocation of $32 million, an increase of $10 million from 24-25. This increase, Mr. Speaker, sir, will allow the payment of 8 hours to all 1,423 ECE teachers across all 873 pre-primary centers in our 9 education districts. Mr. Speaker, sir, the coalition government sees the importance of accessing education at the early childhood level. And I would like to remind the House of the adage: if you change the beginning of the story, you change the whole story. This investment is indeed the beginning of a successful education journey for all children in Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, the coalition government and the Ministry of Education recognizes the continuous challenges faced by students needing special attention. We acknowledge the allocation of 1.1 million that will enable the Ministry of Education to explore essential resources for teachers to effectively identify and support students with special needs. This reflects our unwavering commitment to creating a truly inclusive learning environment and ensuring accessibility for all identified students with special needs. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are students with special needs in schools, like autism, physically challenged, reading disorders, and many more that the Ministry of Education is working hard to identify resources so that these students can be identified at an early age and be given a proper assistance and guidance. This is working towards achieving Sustainable Development Goal 10, reducing inequalities. The provision of this budget allocation will empower all children with special needs, including those with disabilities, to gain an education, increasing their future employability and independence, and reducing the likelihood of discrimination. At the moment, there are so many 13 special schools around Fiji with teachers that are supposed to be teaching in normal schools. There are no special inclusive teachers. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Education's Technical Vocational Education Training Department is actively reforming our education system to create inclusive, innovative, and alternative pathways for our children. And we are thankful for the increased allocation of 6.56 million as compared to 1.8 million in the previous year. This will allow the phased implementation of Education Perfect online platform in Fiji secondary schools. We are currently operating 54 vocational schools with plans for additional 10 centers in the new financial year. These targeted efforts are designed to ensure Fiji produces a skilled workforce that directly meets the country's economic demands. Mr. Speaker, sir, we encourage students under the TVET programs to explore the micro-qualification programs offered by TSLS. And the Ministry of Education acknowledges the great contribution of the outgoing TSLS CEO, Dr. Hasmuklam. Mr. Speaker, sir, many of our school buildings are aging, with the wear and tear impacting the safety and the quality of learning environment. They have withstood challenging weathers in the past, and this year's allocation of 8.7 million will greatly address repairs and maintenance, rebuilding of teachers' quarters, and infrastructures around Fiji. And we are also acknowledging the report by DFET on the audit taken in the Suwa-Nosori corridors, which highlights classroom overcrowding and the need for more appropriate wash facilities to be constructed around 45 schools around the Suwa-Nosori corridor. We acknowledge that work is already underway. Preliminary work is already underway for the construction of 3 new schools: Watuanga Primary School, Suwa Primary School, and the new Ndawilevu Secondary Schools with funding from DFET. Mr. Speaker, sir, we also acknowledge our strong partnership with the UAE Red Crescent Authority, who continue to assist us with the construction of 2 duplex teachers' quarters for each of these 3 schools: Ratu Simeone College, Lautoka Methodist College, and Singatoka Methodist College. We are in the final stages of signing this agreement with UAE authorities, aiming for completion by the end of December. With God's grace, phase 2 of this vital project will then begin, further advancing the People's Coalition government's vision. And on the same note, I convey my sincere appreciation to our UAE partners. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are rescoping and retendering the Kandavu Provincial School project, which has left incomplete from 2022 due to contractual and monitoring issues. The Ministry of Education is also looking to respond to the expression of interest from the Vanuas for the establishment of new secondary schools, subject to current Ministry of Education criteria. And we anticipate to establish new secondary schools in the West, in Namara in Asawa, Bunyasi and Nawaka in Nandi, Namuka and Noweni, Tokai Malo, Nangali, Tadirua, and Korsule, to name a few. Mr. Speaker, sir, all of these expressions of interest received from the Vanuatu to the Ministry of Education, and we are currently doing the groundwork and feasibility studies. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are currently being confronted with termite infestation in the Western schools, and we are thankful for UNICEF for providing temporary tents for classroom use. 44 schools in the Western divisions were affected, with 11 schools severely affected. Currently, there are about 2 schools schooling under tents. That is St. Thomas Primary and Lobus Sangam Primary. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, the flexibility of the free education grant use and fundraising provisions. This will allow schools to implement much-needed infrastructure upgrades and improvements. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are thankful for the 7% increase amounting to 423 million in Seg 1. And this will allow for payments of teacher remuneration, including qualification and long-standing salary upgrades for experienced teachers who have served over 20 to 30 years, and recognizing qualification upgrades for others, and statutory deductions as a retention measure. The Ministry of Education will also continue to undertake professional development, working with stakeholders such as FTRA to provide the necessary resources. These comprehensive measures, Mr. Speaker, are designed to attract and retain highly qualified and motivated teachers, ensuring quality education delivery across all regions, especially those undeserved and thereby bridging educational gaps linked to poverty. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are happy with the student allocation that government continues to give for students, ranging from a free education grant, free textbook, transport assistance, back-to-school assistance, water tanks, boats and engines, boarding grants, menstrual hygiene management, food rations, and remission of fees. This will ensure that students do come to school, continue their learning journey and pathways, and finish their journey to become better citizens of Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, the total number of students currently enrolled in schools from ECE, primary and secondary school, numbering around 242,959, as compared to 239,843 last year, an increase of 3,160 students enrolled. This, Mr. Speaker, sir, shows that children are coming to school, and we hope and pray that more students will continue to be enrolled with this budget 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, while only 1.7% of the students are involved in drug-related incidents, mainly involving tobacco products like suki and cigarettes, the ministry remains concerned about the rising trend from 2020 to 2023, with 3,627 cases in 2023. In response, the ministry, in collaboration with the SEC, National Substance Abuse Advisory Council, and other stakeholders, continue to conduct annual awareness program and is prioritizing the re-engagement of school chaplains to address social issues such as drugs, truancy, bullying, and teenage pregnancy. Mr. Speaker, sir, the ministry has received $50 million for next financial year for transport assistance initiative, including 50% government bus fare subsidy. To strengthen internal controls and governance for this significant budget allocation to the ministry is currently reviewing its transport assistance policy, and this review will be also conducted with the other relevant ministries to ensure transparency and accountability. Mr. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, we are building a resilient education system that is resistant to climate change, termite-proof, drug-free, and we are empowering every child to access quality education through this budget. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I fully support this budget 2025-2026.